Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy Independence Day.
I feel like I had to like pull out the energy.
Totally.
Just to like match the aesthetic,
the
I guess.
flair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, we're here. Good morning. Coffee special glass, as you can see.
Special glass, light up.
Hillary has a light up bow.
I mean,
I feel like your daughter's gonna be really into that.
Super into it. Yes, she was not allowed to see it before it came out today, because otherwise it would not have made it with us.
No,
here.
no.
Yeah.
It would be on her head for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I feel like, while we chat, because we have to keep these on just because they're so cool, and I can't see anything, and then I'm going to have to take them off because I can't see my notes.
True. I feel like Professor Trelawney from Harry Potter.
I know.
Like,
Totally.
Coke bottle glasses.
Totally. I know.
Oh.
They're actually kind of foggy as well.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on in here. Anyway, so for your enjoyment, we'll keep them on for the time being. But what are you doing today?
We had a little bit of a family barbecue this weekend to kind of celebrate, and then today we're gonna try and watch the fireworks.
Oh, cool. Where do you go?
Philly has a really big fireworks show. They're having like a free concert near the art museum.
Oh, that's nice.
So, but the fireworks don't start until 9:45, which is
so tricky with a
super
kid.
late.
Yeah.
So, but she's really into fireworks right now. So we're gonna try and keep her up.
Good luck. Good luck.
We'll see how it goes.
I know. I mean, in my mind, I love the idea of taking Murphy to see the fireworks.
Yeah.
But I just know it'll be disastrous, especially at her age. I mean, it's like...
This is the first year that she's asked to watch them.
Yeah, she understands.
So she
what
understands,
they are.
yeah.
Or she would just be like,
right.
Yeah, she wouldn't know.
But I do worry she doesn't like loud things.
Right.
So it's like...
Will she wear those little noise-canceling headphones?
No, we don't have any.
Oh, that's... Hey.
And I don't think she'd keep them on her head anyway.
That's the thing. Is like, we have some for Murphy, but like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, these are a great idea. And it's just a toy now. It's just a toy that she's like, what are you doing?
You see those like pictures of celebrity babies at concerts and stuff like that, and they've got them on, and you're like, how is that kid not pulling it off immediately?
And is
like,
there some infant trainer that they all like have that like teaches these kids how to behave at a concert? I'm like, what is this world you're living with your babies?
Right? A different world than us, for sure.
Totally. Yeah, I would avoid that situation at all costs.
What about you guys? Are you doing anything for today?
I mean, we're keeping it chill. Maybe this next weekend, because we couldn't organize anything and we were so last minute trying to.
Yeah.
Maybe this next weekend we might actually have people over for a barbecue, so it'll be a belated celebration. But today we might just kind of like do a family thing on the deck and, like cook hot dogs and
hot dogs and burgers.
Yes.
Well, maybe not so much for you guys.
They're
but
faux hot dogs, actually.
Okay.
Which I'm weirdly into these hot dogs right now. Like, it's like a pregnancy thing. I like every single night. And now I actually get an excuse to get it again because Tam's like, I cannot eat more hot dogs. I'm like, I'm sorry. They taste so good. All the toppings. I don't know. It's just...
And do you grill them? Is that what makes them taste so good? Or you eat them like if they're,
No, we grill them,
okay.
grill it, like put it on the bun, like do it like a hot dog.
Okay.
And it just hits the spot.
All right.
I know, it doesn't sound right if you're not, if you're a meat eater, there's no way. I completely understand. But, they taste the same to me because I don't ever eat meat.
There you go. So that's the important part.
That's the important part. Also, FYI, I'm so glad that we're wearing these because... When you're pregnant, as your belly grows, it becomes, a
shelf.
A shelf for anything that drops from your mouth while you're eating. And you don't realize how much you're not catching all the time. And so I constantly have stains like on the top part of my belly. It's really attractive and awesome. But luckily... I have this really festive necklace to cover it up.
There you go.
You'll never know.
Wouldn't have noticed.
Anyway, I guess, hey, let's get started with some hot topics.
Hot topics. There have been a lot of hot things going on in the news.
There have been.
Especially financially related. So we're going to get some hot topics.
Yeah. And we'll, it might not be like, here, I'm going to take these off Sorry, everyone. That's all you're gonna get with that.
I'll try and persevere. We'll see.
Okay, you persevere. I'm blind. Okay. This is not the lightest topic on the 4th of July, but it is our reality. So, stocks fall on Thursday with the S&P 500 on track to close out. Worst first half in decades. This is from CNBC. Ouch.
Yeah. So the Dow Jones was down 1.6% on Thursday. The S&P 500 was down 1.2%. The NASDAQ was down 1.4%, which is tech-heavy stocks. And for the last 3 months, the NASDAQ is down 20%.
Oh my gosh.
Now, to be fair, we had highs of the market in November of last year. So it's still
sort of balancing out maybe a little.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you're talking to and who's giving the advice, but it does feel like this is more of a correction. Hopefully it's not a full recession.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, they're saying that this is due, at least this article is saying that this is due to surging inflation, Federal Reserve rate hikes, Russia's ongoing war on Ukraine, and COVID-19 lockdown in China. So, I mean, there are a lot of factors potentially contributing to this.
Nothing really big happening, guys, that's going to affect the economy. No big things.
I know.
It's not just one big thing or two big things. It's like 7 big things that are all happening all at once.
I know. I feel like that's the first thing my husband said to me this morning. He goes, we woke up and he's like, what's happening to the world?
Yes.
I mean, I know it feels that way, but it's got to get better. It's got to get better, everyone.
Gosh, one hopes.
But on a positive note, and I wrote down the quote, senior wealth advisor at Payne Capital Management, Courtney Garcia, says, and I quote, when you have a period like now where the markets are down more than 15% in the first half of the year, which has happened a couple times in history, they tend to have a really good second half of the year by an average of about 24%, if you can believe that, which is interesting.
That is really interesting.
I don't think anyone would think that.
No.
Huh. So hopefully, we stay on track with what history has shown us.
Yes.
I wanted to put something positive in it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's interesting. You know, they talk about how the tech stocks are all down, which is why the NASDAQ is so affected. Netflix is down 70%, Apple and Alphabet down 22%, and Meta is even down 51%.
Meta. Facebook, aka Meta.
Right.
Yeah.
And that to me was a little bit more surprising than a couple of the other stock areas that are also down. So home retail was down, which who's surprised there? No, for 2 years, people have been spending on upgrading everything in their home. Right. And now it's a slower time for that because either you've already upgraded everything or your stock you finally ordered last year has finally come in, so you don't need so much new stuff.
And everything's more expensive now as well.
And everything's more expensive, and it's more expensive to ship things, boat them from across the sea, wherever they're being made. So profit, margins are being affected. So not surprised there.
But Netflix,
yeah, that is surprising.
You'd think that would just keep going up,
right?
No one's getting rid of their Netflix.
No. And they're trying to diversify. They're possibly going to go to an ad-supported version, which I think is really interesting. So we'll see how that pans out.
Oh, that is interesting.
And then the other area that they talked about being down were cruise lines, which again, who's surprised there?
I know. I don't think a ton of people are. I mean, some for sure, but after what we've all been through, and some cruise disasters that we witnessed along the way,
right?
I don't think that's a huge, destination point for a lot of people who are wanting to, plan a vacation.
Right.
Although some still, dedicated fans of the cruise ships totally get it.
Yeah.
I've been on my fair share and I've had a great time. Husband, I love the casino.
I have never been on a cruise.
You haven't?
No.
They're actually they're surprisingly fun.
I would imagine that they would be. The opportunity has just never come up.
Yeah.
So
ROITV goes on a cruise ship. I see it now. Well, let's get a little further out of the pandemic before we
plan that.
into such close quarters with so many people.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back with more hot topics. All right, welcome back, everyone, to some more hot topics and hot coffee and our really cool festive. You can't really call them mugs, but glasses. Plastic glasses.
They're great for outdoor parties.
Yeah, I love. They're actually my favorite in general. I don't like glass things. It makes me nervous, and it never ends well.
I mean,
my husband broke all my glasses when we first moved in together. So
yes, my husband is not allowed to wash the wine glasses. This is self-imposed. I would like to say he'll do all the rest of the dishes and leave all the wine glasses for me to do, because early on in dating he broke a few and I was like, okay, fine, but that just means being more careful.
do better.
It doesn't mean I have to do it now.
I dubbed the official wine glass washer. There you have
you've
it
also
for life.
broken bowls and other things, but you still wash those.
You have a long life ahead of washing. That's a lot of wine glasses.
It is indeed. Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's a smart, savvy move on his part. He knew what he was doing.
It truly is.
It is.
He's like, I got this.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I know how to work this. That's what they do, I tell you what. All right, so Amazon Rite Aid cap purchase on Plan B emergency contraceptives due to demand. And this is from Market Watch. So yes, I don't think anyone's surprised about what's going on. So following the Supreme Court decision overruling Roe versus Wade, retailers are having to put a cap on how many emergency contraceptives consumers can buy.
Yep. So both Amazon and Rite Aid have limited theirs to 3 per customer per week.
Right.
And Walmart has limited theirs to 10 per week online.
I mean, when I was reading it, because, okay, before I say this, let me say that I understand that people are, worried. So they're probably trying to, get as many as possible because they don't really know what's going to happen and there's less options available to them. So let's, stock up, basically.
Right.
But when I was like, so they're limiting it to 3 a week. I was like, that's a lot.
Well, I think that the retailers, they're imposing the limit so that people aren't buying up the entire stock in a store and then trying to resell it.
Like people did with toilet paper when,
yes,
COVID
exactly.
happened.
At the beginning of the pandemic, they did it with toilet paper. They did it with hand sanitizer. Remember, people had garages of hand sanitizer and face masks, and then they couldn't resell it because people started making all that stuff, and
that was one of the weirdest things, the toilet paper thing. My dad was funny about it. He was like, of all things, he's like, toilet paper? He's like, do you have a shower? If worse comes to worse.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
But I think that people are panicking and they're like, okay, I want to stock up, especially people who live in those states that they're more affected by this ruling. I completely understand the mindset, but when I first read it, I was like, that seems like a lot of...
Seems like a lot of hanky-panky.
A lot of hanky-panky. Which I support. Go for it. Come on now.
Well, I think it's also interesting. I read a different article from the New York Times that talked about how a lot of mothers with older children are actually stocking up on Plan B so that their kids have access to it should they need it.
Oh shoot, I might be going to Walgreens after this.
Well, I think their kids were teenagers, so it was a little bit more, and living in a state where
I know if I started stocking up now, they probably would be expired by the time my daughter's a teenager.
Definitely.
But I understand the panic of a mother.
Yeah. But I was like, depending on your version of motherhood, I was like, that is a smart move.
Yeah.
Because, I think as we've learned over and over again, you aren't going to stop teenagers from having sex.
No, you're not.
But you might as well provide a safe place for them to
Right.
make those decisions.
And you just want options to be available because you know what, everyone makes not the best choices.
Yeah.
In their teenagers.
Right. Yes.
I can attest.
Some people don't make smart choices in their 20s or 30s
I
or
can attest to
40s or
that
50s,
too.
but yeah.
But Walmart is still at 10 units per purchase.
Yes.
One question I had though is so if you can go to Walgreens and get 3 per purchase, could you just drive to a different Walgreens?
So that's a good question, and I didn't look into that, but I feel like it's probably similar to what they do with not antihistamines, but epinephrine products that can be used for making meth, where they limit that. And so you have to show your driver's license, so they put you in the system that you've bought one
That
unit.
makes sense.
I don't know
You're
if that's
probably
the way
right.
they're working this, but I would imagine that they're doing something similar to that.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, if you probably did it right away or you did it, I don't know. There probably are some loopholes, but
Right.
you know, it's a nice way for them to hopefully limit how many people are stockpiling.
Okay. So you can't just put a bunch of wigs in the back of your car and like drive around to all the Walgreens in town and
I think you
stock
should
up on
try.
Plan B. But you could try.
Yeah, I think you should try.
But if they are asking for your license,
yeah.
it's likely that they're gonna know what
Yes.
you're doing.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments if
it
you
works
figure
for
out if that works for you.
Yeah, come on. All right, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back to talk about the shows airing today on ROI TV. Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to remind you not to miss today's episodes of Your Money, Your Wealth, ETF Stories, and Life's Third Act. You can catch them all on ROI TV, as always. Where?
On Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your phone or tablet, whether it's an Android or an iPad.
That's right. Sorry, I needed one last sip of coffee before we sign out for the day. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Coffee with Kim and Hills. We'll see you tomorrow with another big old cup of coffee.
Happy Independence Day.